Today's video we're gonna be exploring several different lakes here in Sweden and learning about its history from the Viking Age all the way back to the Bronze Age, looking at several different old structures and learning about this place, history and culture. We're also gonna be setting out on this boat, heading out to this lake and hopefully catching a fish or two and eating awesome food and generally just having a great time. So let's begin where the video starts. Okay, we're in a pretty cool area with this nice view. Someone has forgot their glasses on this thing. That's kind of goofy, but hey, here we got the runestone. As you can see, a lot of runestones are damaged. This one is obviously damaged in the middle, so you can't even see what it says completely. Another runestone on the list. Let's keep on moving. Okay, so we have made it to some type of checkpoint here with a lot of like kids stuff, some type of wooden thing. There's like this massive larva here for like kids to play around and like tiny mushrooms and stuff. What is this? Man, this looks like some type of like weird occult thing you would stumble into at 3 AM when you're walking around in the woods. Maybe the kids are just playing, you know, making a ritual in the woods, you know. Man, this is actually pretty cool. I found there this right here, if you look at it, it's a wood chopper. So basically you would take a piece of wood, put it here, and you would split it. Maybe that's more accurate, you know, translation. It's like you would put it and you're able to split wood, because right next to here is a bunch of wood. Weird, they just left a bunch of wood here in the open for anyone to take probably and make a fire. A saw for the public, to anyone to show up can just pick up this saw and use it. And also here's a little place where you can put up a fire. Very nice view. Oh man, that's the horse is running for his life over there. Pretty nice view to sit there and have some food, but unfortunately we don't have time for that. We gotta keep moving. We're gonna go to the next location. We're gonna look for some drawings from the Bronze Age. Look at all of these like birds houses people have put up. That's pretty neat. Hoodie, man, this is like my favorite hoodie now. This merino wool hoodie. Anti-smell, because wool is antibacterial, making it just like a great material, but it's also just like, it's so tight. I look like an absolute unit wearing this. Okay, so we have now arrived. The drawings from the Bronze Age, which are between 4,000 and 2,500 years old. So I'm gonna show you them right now. Here we have them. Look at them. Aren't they just absolutely beautiful? I mean, look at this. You can see the ship. Okay, obviously I'm joking. Some kid has been here drawing these like probably like this week or something. Oh man, it's way bigger than I actually thought it would be. Look at this. First of all, you can see this. It's a, you know, it's not the most obvious thing, but it's a boat, and this thing above it is also a boat. This is way before the Viking Age, but you can still kind of see like the shape, like it reminds maybe, you know, of a long ship or whatever, because these are the same people. Obviously these were, you know, original Scandinavians 2,000 to 4,000 years ago, and these would be the same people that in a couple thousand years later would end up becoming the ones going around in Viking longships all around Europe. And above you have these like horse looking creatures. Maybe this is just, you know, horses they may have domesticated or something, but you see these two horse shaped. Here's the tail, here we have the foot, here we have the head. The indent you feel when touching it, it's very barely, you know. I can honestly understand why you would forget about these even existing, because like you can barely tell by touching. Like I can barely tell the surface difference, so I probably guess that they have used some type of like computer instrument or whatever to be able to actually tell that these are here. I have no clue when these were discovered, but I mean this would have probably been hard to see. I mean, you know, thousands of years, also the cracks and everything, I feel like this would have been completely gone by now, but luckily it's still preserved here in all good shape. Oh man, I walked a little bit here to the left and there's some more of them. Look at this, man. Here we have a 4,000-year-old drawing of a stick figure warrior with his stick figure sword. Oh, here we have more stick figures. I think it's actually kind of funny. Some people might get mad. So, I mean, this is actually fine, so long they don't draw it, the kids, on like the actual things. If they make it on the side, I mean, that's fun, and no, I don't see any problem with that. Look at this view from here. You're standing up here. You have the drawings here on this massive cliff. This cliff was formed from the Ice Age. Nice view. Anyway, this was probably one of the coolest things in my opinion. A really nice place. Let's keep on moving to the next location.
Okay.
Det finns massa fåglar här alltså som är ganska rare. Man, I can finally see the lake over here. Look at that. What this lake is kind of famous for, and the reason why a lot of people come here, is basically to go and watch birds. This is a place very common for bird watching. Up here, you see a little tower. We're gonna go up and see if we can see anything from the watchtower. This massive lake, you're not allowed to fish here, which is unfortunate. I like fishing. It has a massive bird population with a bunch of unique types of birds, and it's kind of easy to go here bird watching. It's way higher up than I thought. It didn't look as high when I was down there. I mean, man, there is just a colossal amount of poop around here, man. I know all the horse women, the horse girls. Like, there's so many horse girls around this. Basically just women who are interested in, riding and that type of sport, and obviously the horses walk around and they poop everywhere. This might actually not even be horse poop. This might actually be like cow, because there's I know there's a bunch of cows around here, but I'm pretty sure this is horse and they walked around it. I mean, man, this is like ridiculous amounts. This ground must be like super fertilized and super perfect farming ground because of all this fertilization. Anyway, we have found an awesome spot to set up for some food on one of those cliffs over there. Let's go.
Ja, det jag tänker.
Oh man, look at that bench. I'm so tired already. Let's go sit down. I'm literally starving right now. There's a helicopter, a police helicopter flying over. First of all, we got some of this falukorv. This is probably as Swedish you could get when it comes to sausages. It is probably not the healthiest. Let's get real, it's not healthy. It's probably very bad for you to eat these sausages, but they're awesome. And I mean, there's 70% meat, so at least that's 70%. What could the last 30% be? It can't be that bad. Surely, I mean, it's probably just like uranium or something. I mean, something else healthy, like 30% uranium. Cheers. Absolute classic. My dad, he came straight from the far north in northern Sweden, where these are made. There's tons of different types of falukorv around Sweden, but you only want the original. You want a real Bastuträsk falukorv from the OGs who make them. You don't want the bad, knockoffs which you find over here. Unfortunately, it would have been a lot better if it actually had been grilled or something, cooked. But it's good raw as well. Meal number 2, simple little cheese sandwich. I had a little bit of like a time pressure, to get out, so I didn't have enough time to make any proper meal. Like, this is a half sandwich. Looks a bit depressing, but I mean, you can't beat just a good old sourdough bread with some cheese in it. The most basic thing ever. If you hate on this, I mean, there's something wrong with you. The most simple thing ever, but you can't beat it. Man, it's so simple. Works every single time. I'm so hungry. It is actually the best sandwich I've ever had, purely because I'm hungry. Not actually because it's that good, it's just I'm really hungry. There's just so many birds here. I mean, this is like a bird watching lake, so a lot of people come here for specifically that. As someone who is looking to start hunting, this kind of makes me go crazy. Like, oh, I wish I had a shotgun right now and I could just, that's both illegal and that wouldn't really make sense to do here. But I have a little thing which might be able to take them down. Look at this. This is actually just a thermos, though it's a kind of funny one. I bought this like in the far north of Sweden, and it looks like, it's like everyone in the far north of Sweden is either a hunter or a fisherman or a hiker. So of course, they sell these types of things. It's literally just, as you might see, a rifle bullet. But inside I have a very special type of meal. It's some Swedish pyttipanna. Some good old Swedish pyttipanna. This is like one of the most stereotypical like Swedish national dishes, probably alongside the meatball. A lot of people assume that Swedish food is like fish or something. That's actually wrong. That's Norwegian food. Norwegian food is like fish. Danish food is like sausages. They eat sausages. Denmark is pig country. Norway is fish country. Sweden is red meat country. We just eat a bunch of red meat with potatoes and butter pretty much. Oh man, I'm literally starving. Let's try this out. The good thing about bringing this in a thermos I made this like hours ago. It's still hot. It's pretty cold outside today, so the fact that the food is hot just makes everything feels better. When it's cold outside and you're camping, there's nothing you want more than hot food. I feel like hot food, we take it way too granted when we're inside. Outside, it just hits different like nothing else. This is like the trinity of Swedish food, basically. Some type of red meat, potatoes and butter. You mix them together, makes for a fantastic meal. Same thing with meatballs. Then you have this pyttipanna. Highly recommend for anyone. I probably like it more than meatballs, honestly. Oh, that's just done. That was so easy to get done. That was like the easiest portion of pyttipanna I've ever ate. Man, that was good. Oh man, that hit the spot. That was good. As I stated before, this lake is like very commonly used for bird watching. People come here. There's just like an infinite amount of birds standing here in the watchtower and this like nice high place where you can stand and look over everything. I didn't bring any like binoculars or anything, which you could obviously use for bird watching. A little like quick take on bird watching. I feel like bird watching, a lot of people think it's like really weird for some reason. There's like this stereotype. I'm not gonna get into details what this like stereotype entails, but you might know what the stereotype with bird watchers is. And I feel like bird watchers is like the least weird thing people do. Like people think bird watching is really strange. I don't really get it. I mean, it's actually I think it's kind of wholesome. I don't do it, but it's kind of wholesome. People go, they want to look at birds and animals. Especially today, there's so many weird stuff people do nowadays. I'm not gonna say what, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of strange things people do on the internet today. And bird watching is not one of them. Bird watching is like the least weird thing people do, and I'm gonna defend the bird watchers. Let my bird watchers live. I mean, they are clearly misunderstood. Just let them do their thing, okay? There's a bunch of Canadian geese over there. Kind of goofy that they're called that when we're in Sweden, that we're not in Canada, obviously. I don't know if we should go up there, because from what I've heard, I haven't encountered one like head on before, but they tend to be kind of aggressive, you know, and you can kind of get into a bit of a fight with them. Obviously, I think I would beat them, but I think we're gonna let them chill over there while we go over there. They even like a feather, I think that's a feather from one of them. Canada goose are clearly like establishing dominance over there and threatening us. I think we just gotta leave. We mean no harm, Canada goose. Calm down. And there's poop everywhere where we walk. It's a little, probably a bunch of kids which have made a little house over there. It's good that they're doing bushcraft from an early age. Well, this is I love this type of terrain you see over here in Uppland, Sweden. A lot of areas just look like this, these open areas with lakes, the forest everywhere, farmland. My dad actually was a bird watcher when he was my age, so he would probably have liked this place. It's a pretty cool area. There's even some geese over there. Oh, look at these geese. Yeah, there's an airplane coming. This is pretty close to an airport, so I'm not shocked that that's the case. I wonder what they're farming here. If this is like potatoes or something. I can smell the smell of poo in the air. Then you know you're back at the countryside. Ah, the lovely smell. Jeremy Fragrance would love this. Okay, so we're right now pulling up to a place with quite a lot of runestones. 4 runestones at this very old church from the 1200s. It's gonna be pretty cool to look at. Start with the least interesting one first, because some runestones, they're kind of boring and doesn't actually tell you that much. Basically, this runestone just says the name Alelet raised this stone after Ulv, his son, father to Frögard. Basically, it's a simple runestone that just says this dude raised this thing to that dude. Like, it's not, doesn't tell you that much. This runestone is pretty cool. By the way, I apologize for the sound. We're right next to a road. This is in pretty good shape because it has the red dye still, and you can clearly see in the middle, you see this cross. It kind of looks like a Prussian cross, but it's not actually. This is actually a cross of Saint George. Like the cross you would see on, for example, Crusaders, they would have the cross of Saint George. Or on the flag of England, they have also the cross of Saint George. And if you know something about the cross of Saint George, it's come from, obviously, as the name suggests, from the saint called Saint George, and he is very much associated with, you know, war. Saint George was a soldier. That's why, for example, the Crusaders would have this on their shields and on their like shirts and everything. I mean, this stone is pretty cool, like aesthetically, but I mean, text-wise, Björn and Vigun let raise this stone after Sven, who was like a relative to them. So, I mean, basically, for those who don't know why all these runestones are the way they are, many are just basically, this guy built this runestone for these people. A lot of people would, you know, make runestones for the sake of remembering people, to honor people. This is in these people's honor. This runestone right here, it's an okay shape. The red dye is kind of disappearing. This runestone has a lot of parts missing in the text, so we don't know exactly what it says 100%. Also, this runestone was found in 1938, and it was actually in the church, like at the part of the floor. So basically, at the entrance where you would walk in with your legs like this, like you would always step on this runestone. Ulrika and Igul let raise this stone after Björn, basically. A lot of basic stuff like the other runestones, but yeah. What is interesting though about this runestone is like what is painted on it. You can see kind of like these serpents, like a dragon being made of this. Pretty nice view up here. This church is built like up on like a massive hill, so you can look upon all of this. This is very possible that this church, because it's on a hill, that this might have been an island, and this all around would have, during the Viking age, because of the sea levels, this would have been ocean. Like a lot of runestones are in pretty bad shape. They have moss growing on them, the paint is disappearing, but this one is in really good shape. Serpent being drawn. And then there's a cross here at the side. I mean, it must have been pretty hard to actually been able to read this type of text because of how it goes around like that. And another thing you'll notice with this runestone is the way that it's, you know, if you go out, you can see that it's inside the wall of the church. Why is that? Why is that? That's kind of weird. One thing I've mentioned before on the channel is that runestones often get forgotten. People forgot about them and the paint disappears. And once the paint has disappeared, well, it's very hard to actually tell that it's a runestone. It will just look like any other stone like this, and often they get forgotten. They're like laying somewhere in the woods, and with churches like this, which are made of rock, obviously you need building material. So if someone stumbles into a random big rock in the woods, they think, great, that's building material I can use to build this church. So at one point this runestone was made, then they forgot about it, it disappeared, the painting disappeared. Then someone rediscovered it, thought it was building material, used it to build this church. Someone discovered this runestone just inside of this wall of this church. Not only aesthetically my favorite runestone of the entire trip, but also the history behind this. Okay, so this one starts out as a pretty like regular runestone with some names. I mean, a lot of these old names like crazy. I mean, this guy was named Götjärv. What type of Norse Viking name is that? It starts out with Tegn and Götjärv and Sunvat and Torulv, also kind of crazy name, Torulv, let raise this stone after their father Toke. Then it says that Toke in fact died in Greece and God help his soul. This, you know, teaches you two things. Number one is that Toke obviously was the goat, and his, you know, his sons wanted to honor him, so they built this stone basically to honor him. But why did they want to honor him? What did he do? That was the fact that he died in Greece. And what does that mean? That means that he was in fact in the Varangian Guard. Many Swedish Vikings, you know, they went eastwards, meanwhile Norwegian and Danish ones went westward. They went to England and plundered and did that type of stuff. Swedish Vikings went to the Kievan Rus and to Russia, and then further down the rivers until they reached the Black Sea and then Greece, which at that time was, you know, the Eastern Roman Empire. And what this basically means is that Toke, this guy, which is a pretty funny name, Tok basically is a word in Swedish which means like you're a crazy person, most likely part of the Varangian Guard, serving the emperor of the Eastern Roman Empire. And what the other part where it says like God save his soul, that also means that Toke would have been Christian at this time. But I thought this one was extremely interesting because I think Varangians is something which is really cool and underrated, and a lot of people in Sweden don't know about Varangians. When a lot of people, when they think of Vikings, they think of like Danish Vikings and Norwegian Vikings. They think of like what they were doing in England and France. Anyway, that was about everything we had to see over here. Gotta look out, I don't want to step on someone's grave here, because this is also a graveyard. Over there, up there, you see the clock tower. As you can see, this church doesn't have a built-in clock in it like many other churches do. So instead you would have like an external clock tower made out of wood in a pretty cool position. You see right there up on that hill. Looks pretty cinematic from here. I think we're done over here. Let's continue further. So today we have showed up at the lake. There is a bit of a problem. I don't actually own a boat, but there's actually a solution. There used to be a fishing community which used to have boats which you could borrow if you were part of the community. That was maybe a decade ago. Since then, that community has dissolved. It doesn't exist anymore. And I'm gonna show you what has happened with the old boats that used to be here for like 10 years ago. I remember being here even then. You see the old kayak, it's completely split in half. And there's another kayak over there in the same shape, split in half. But last year I noticed something when I was here. I noticed there were a bunch of new boats just standing there, and they didn't have any locks on them. And I thought, what is this about? Why don't they have any locks? Because these are actually not privately owned. Really, they are also part of a new community which I formed, right? I was like, man, this is really cool. I'm definitely gonna go to that lake and fish, but I just didn't have the time last year. I showed up here a month ago to see kind of how the state is, because I hadn't been here during winter. And I noticed that the main boat, the biggest boat which you got to borrow, the best one, it was like completely filled with water. And it was a big issue. It was still floating though. I didn't take the initiative, and I wish I had done it, because today this is how the boat looks right now. It is completely underwater, at least the back of it, and it's gonna be an absolute mess of a job to try to get all the water out. Someone has just completely forgotten, abandoned the boat, and it's really sad to see, because if you leave it long enough, it's gonna end up just like that kayak. I'm gonna try my best today to try to save it, because if someone doesn't do anything, I mean, it is literally gonna sink to the bottom and it's gonna get destroyed. So I'm gonna try my best today to try to fix it somehow, get the water out. If it doesn't work, I'll probably have to call for help. Look what I found inside of the boat when I was cleaning it out. I was trying to get some water out of it, and one of these was inside. I mean, just look at that. Oh, that's crazy. It's like slimy and disgusting. I'm gonna put it here on the ground, but I'm gonna make sure to flip it towards the right side, so that this side isn't up. I know that it may be that you can see it, but you know, give it a couple months and this get covered by leaves, by mud and other stuff, and then someone steps on those leaves which compress themselves, and they found themselves with a rusty nail in their foot. That's gonna suck. A little thing which I just realized is just like, whenever you walk in an area where you see a bunch of like planks, unused planks laying abandoned on the floor, and they're covered by leaves and stuff, don't step on them, because you don't know if it's nails in them or not, if the nails are pointed upwards or not. Like, it can be really dangerous if you're walking around in like a completely abandoned location with planks, and then you have a bunch of vegetations and leaves and stuff which has been going on top of it. Like, it can really mess you up. I will now remember that for the future. Look at the state of this thing. It's just like, I was walking here one point and I stepped through one of these. It was so scary, man. Well, here's the boat, and yeah, just look at the state of it. Look what I tried. I tied this line in front, trying to pull it inwards so I can have it in there in the harbor. That way I would be able to flip the boat easier, but it's so hard. It's just like, the boat is so heavy, it's loaded with water, and it's so tight. If you see the gap here in between where I've been trying to squeeze it through, it's just so hard to go through. Ah! I took this line and wrapped it through the hole, but you see I have like this, like a thing which I put the line through. It broke when I was pulling, so if you saw on the video, I was literally like flying this direction. There's a couple other boats here as well. If you look at them, there's this big one, but it has a lock, so it's someone else's private boat. There's this one, it also has a lock, so it's a private boat. And that one over there, it doesn't have a lock. So I would really like to have that big one which is underneath, but it's, man, it's gonna be a lot of work. Oh, I really want to go out on a trip on this. You see this massive lake, go that direction on the lake and see if I can catch any fish. is another plank with some nails inside of it, just like the ones I showed you up there. Look how slimy and disgusting this thing is. And there's like snails, sea snails on it and stuff. The worst part about this is the realization that probably the entire interior of the boat looks like this. It's probably really slimy and gooey, the entire bottom. So not only do I have to, you know, remove all the water from the boat, I also have to clean it. I just think I managed to do some absolutely massive progress right there. Look at this. I just used this stick, kind of like a hook underneath here, then I pulled the entire boat up until I could reach it with my own hands. Then I kind of just did like a deadlift. My back hurts. That was not good for the back. This is a way better position we're in right now than we started. Or over the water now. It's just here, the little part here on the back. If I just managed to get it up a little bit more, I will have succeeded basically. And at that point, it's just to empty all the water. That's the only thing I have to do left after that. Trying now for almost an hour, and I mean, I'm starting to give up. I did some progress, I did a lot of progress actually, and then I messed up and I just resetted everything. I tried so hard, I got so not far at all, and in the end, yeah, it didn't actually matter. I need to call on my Swedish Viking squad to come and help me, you know. Imagine just 1,000 years ago, my ancestor was like, hey guys, can you come and help me? My longship is stuck, it has too much water in it. And then they showed up. Now, 1,000 years later, same thing. If I have like 3 other people here with me, this would be easy, but I'm just too weak. I need to hit the gym more. This was clearly a sign for me that I need to do some more deadlifting. Okay, so it's the next day and I've returned with someone to help me out, and there even was some people here around which I asked to help me out with this. Obviously we tried many different methods to get this boat up, and to the end the method which actually worked was the same method which I actually tried myself alone. But we ended up just standing here on the side, grabbing onto the side of the boat, everyone just pulling like it's a deadlift pretty much, right? Then after that we simply just took a couple of big buckets, but then we noticed a really big issue which I didn't know of. I didn't see it. Like, I thought the boat simply just had sunk because of the fact that it has rained too much, you know. Maybe in the beginning of winter, before the snow had came, this boat was without any water. But now I noticed something, and that's way worse than I thought it would be. If you look kind of here where we have the stick, there's a massive hole over there, which obviously the water is leaking into, but there's more holes here in the back. 4 holes here, 1 hole here, 1 hole there. There's holes in the bottom, and there's also a hole right here. There's tons of holes within the boat, and this is crazy because I saw this boat floating just like 3 months ago. You know, I stuck this massive stick into one of the holes to stop it from leaking, and I put some tape over there to stop it. You know, I've been exposed to literal years of flex tape propaganda, so I thought, oh, flex tape would actually be perfect for this, but unfortunately I don't have any flex tape or flex glue. Phil Swift, if you're watching this, please drop ship me some of your Flex Seal products. What is it? Flex Seal family of products. It's a really good boat. Way better boat than I've ever had. It really makes me so mad to see that someone has just abandoned this boat. But the holes make me very suspicious. It almost makes it seem like if someone deliberately made holes in them. Like, this boat was floating 3 months ago. Like, what type of natural causes this many holes in the boats? Because they're all around the boat. Like, it's several holes all around the boats. This is like, you'll see all of these holes in the back. Like, is that like naturally caused? I don't get where these came from. Well, the only solution to fixing this at this point is that I need some type of seal, some type of, you know, material which I can glue into these holes all around the boat that then hardens. I noticed this today. You see the nail? The nail is leaving this, and it's so unstable. You walk here, you could literally fall through it. So I'm just gonna step over that. This entire thing is so unstable. I mean, look at this. That one has been bad for like years. You see, here's a hole, here's a hole. It almost looks like someone has made a fire here. That's crazy. Last time we were at this location, I recorded at this area, this like floating area in the end of the harbor as well. Do you notice a little bit of a difference? There used to be like a couple boats here on the side. I have some news for you. Look over there. Do you remember that smaller green boat which I mentioned, which I said, okay, if that bigger boat, if that I fail with renovating it, I'm just gonna borrow the green boat, which is also one of the community boats, I think. It's over there. What is it doing over there? Do you see it? It was only attached with a rope. Someone has probably came here and tied up the rope, which has caused it, because if you look at the way the water is going inwards. So if you would let loose of the rope, the boat would have ended up over there. That's the private boat, and the private boat was attached with a lock, but the lock was attached itself to a rope. I don't want to expect the worst of people, but it is very much possible that someone has come here. Like, this has been like a day or two since I was here last time. Literally, this has been like 2 days has gone past since I was here last time. I think this is the line which was attached to the boats. If I took a really thick scissor or a knife or something and cut that line, like, I would eventually start drifting towards that direction on this floating platform. That would kind of suck. I'll find a day, maybe I'll fix the boat or not. If I don't bother, we'll just cut to some other day where we figure out something else. Anyway, I'll see you when I figured out what I'm gonna do. Well, do you recognize where I am? This is where the boat once stood. It has been 2 weeks since I was here, and spring has started kicking in. It's actually insane how much greener it's already become, and it's so much warmer outside than it was just 2 weeks ago. Man, the boat which I brought up and tried to fix is like, it's gone. I have no clue where it has ended up. It is completely gone. But there are also good news. All the other boats which disappeared last time, they're back. They're back as they should. And the green boat. And I bought these oars. You loose this up like this. Take this end, put it in here, screw it together, screw it together. You have an entire oar. This boat definitely takes the prize for being the sketchiest boat I've ever sat in. Man, it's so small. I'm so happy that it's looking clear out on the lake today. Imagine if there was waves with this. Oh, it's so hard. Dude, it's so difficult to oar. I literally can't. It is so hard. I am making progress though, but it's going extremely slow. One thing is for sure, and that is that I won't be able to stand up in this boat. It's so small. With the last boat I used, I could really just like swing myself backward and use all of my body weight. Like, I can't tilt at all backwards. Well, at least I can say it's an absolutely beautiful day today. I mean, I could set land over there, but I don't see like a really good place where I could put the ship. And I know that there's another place further away where there's even like a place where you can attach the boat to. I've never actually sailed there. I've only walked to that place, but I think it's worth it. So we're heading over there. Well, there's so many lily pads around here. Spring just started and the lily pads are already out, which I don't like, because like, you always get stuck when you're fishing and there's tons of lily pads. You can get stuck in the lily pads, and then that's something I've heard with this lake. I've fished on the other side of the lake, which is where we're heading from land, and I've never caught anything from that side. So I think you have to go out with a boat, but you get stuck there everywhere, which is an issue. I thought the location we were heading to were right here around the corner. It was not. Oh no, is it way further away we have to row? That's crazy if that's true. That can't be true. Oh, my heart is broken if that is true. I have to row for quite some... Oh, man. Oh, what just happened? How am I this unlucky? 3 times in a row today, I kid you not. You know when you're like walking around and like a fly or something just flies into your ear and it's super annoying, you get jump scared by it? That has happened to me 3 times this day. And now it happened even out here. Like, what are flies doing out here? Do you not have anything else better to do than harass me? Imagine being such an unemployed fly that you are out here in the middle of lake. There's no food out here, bro. So stop it, fly, stop it. Though, to be fair, I don't know if I can call that fly unemployed. I mean, I'm literally, it's a Wednesday, guys. It's a Wednesday. And I'm literally in the middle of some weird random lake, alone in a small boat, and I'm talking to a camera. I think I am probably the most unemployed. What? Whoa, I never knew this lake was so big. I'm like finding out new stuff. I have been like walking alongside this lake, but I've never actually been out on it. You know what I'm kind of scared of? I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm really scared of, you see these oars? You connect these two titanium pieces with this small plastic thing which grabs them together in the middle. I'm afraid of this plastic thing in the middle. Like, I'm trusting Amazon with this. I have so much trust in Amazon right now that this thing in the middle doesn't break. Imagine it breaks and my oar just like goes in half. Like, what do I do? Like, I'm stuck here. You know, this lake is pretty big. You know what creative name this lake actually has? And by the way, I'm not even like leaking my like exact fishing location, so I'm giving you out all the spots. Because here's the thing, in Sweden we have like thousands of lakes and towns and stuff which have the exact same name. Like, people here are so creative that they literally name a village. There's a village in Sweden called Village. And there's places called like Forest, Mountain, River. Like, imagine naming a island. Yes, there's a place in Sweden called Island. Very creative name. And guess what? This lake is quite big. So its name is the Big Lake. It's literally just called the Big Lake in Swedish. And there's like thousands of lakes in this country called Big Lake. And guess what? Right next to this Big Lake, there's a smaller lake. Could you possibly guess what the name of the smaller lake is? There is no way. There's an impossible challenge to guess. What could possibly the smaller lake be called? It's called Small Lake. Very smart. So some dude seriously looked here and was like, yeah, that lake is bigger than that lake. So let's call the bigger lake Big Lake and the small lake Small Lake. Absolute genius. Oh, these oars are so bad. I think they're actually meant for like a children's inflatable raft. This boat is so weird, dude. I don't know. Whoever designed this boat, I will find you. Who seriously looked at this boat? No offense. I know I'm like using like a free boat and everything, and I'm like complaining, which I shouldn't. But like, come on, dude. Why would you buy this boat? This is like the most awful boat that I've ever been in. Why would someone buy this bad oars? Someone meaning me. Man, I'm so stupid. Why did I buy this? I mean, to be fair, what do I expect? I bought oars for $20 off Amazon. Of course they're kinda bad. Oh man, you know another thing which is so annoying with this boat? Probably the most annoying thing is because the boat is so small, it rotates very easily. If the boat is big, it takes long for it to rotate. So hard to row in a straight line. Wait, is that a... oh no, is that a fart bug? Oh no, that's a fart bug. You know what a fart bug is? In Swedish we have a bug, literally it's called like fart bug. It's called that because it kind of smells disgusting. And it's here on my boat. How dare you? How dare you enter my boat, fart bug? Around this corner, surely I have, you know, if my geography isn't awful, around this corner should be the location where we have to go in order to make it. Oh, I can see it. I can see the cliff. Finally, I can see the cliff. It's the Lion's Cliff from the Lion King, where Mufasa went up and held out Simba, and then the music kicked in. Ah, Simba, yeah, you know that type of song. It's kind of a vibe. I like it. Look at that. There's like an iron piece, like an iron bar sticking out of the rock, where I can put my boat attached to. Now I gotta lock in. I'm gonna be serious. Don't mess up, don't mess up, don't mess up, don't mess up. No, I messed up. I double messed up, my camera fell over. I got it. I think I got it. Okay, you're not going anywhere. I'm not leaving. Let's go, the boat is attached now. We can now go and land. This is the small boat which I traveled across the lake, but we have made it. We have made it to this beautiful cliff where we can be sitting and enjoy a nice meal. Whew, it actually got really warm. This life jacket adds actually surprisingly a lot of warmth, and it protects you from the wind, which is a good thing if it's cold outside, but today it surely wasn't, so it feels good to take this off. We have made it up to the cliff. How is the view? Looking pretty good. There's no way. I was here just like a couple of months ago with my friend, and since then they have now upgraded the grill. Look at this. Whoa. This is actually looking pretty good. They used to literally be like a concrete circle around here before. Now they've actually pimped out an actual grill. But I'm definitely feeling like I'm gonna return here someday now that I see they've upgraded the grill area, the same bench. I've slept here one time before. It's kind of nice area actually. Wait, well, would you look at that? Someone has left their spoon bait. Guys, we can't just have people do pollution and stuff, so it would be a shame for me to not yoink. I mean, it looks actually like a pretty okay spoon bait, don't you think? I mean, it looks good. Should I try it out? Actually, should I do that? Actually, I'm doing that. I'm doing it. Well, this is a pretty nice spot to just sit down and chill. Do you see what I have here? Yes, it's an IKEA bag, because of course it's an IKEA bag. Why wouldn't I use it? Made out of IKEA material. It is waterproof, bulletproof, lava-proof, Danish-proof. It's proof against a lot of things. Beats vibranium every day of the week. Let's go. I have a little Fanta with me. I saw that they had like a sale on Fanta on the grocery store. I have never actually tasted Fanta original. That's kind of weird actually that I haven't done that. Sunny day in the spring. Isn't that the perfect vibe for a nice orange soda? Dude, there's no way. It tastes exactly as I expected it to taste. I've never had this before, but it tastes literally as I thought it was gonna do. I mean, it's good. You know it's popular, so it's kind of like a safe bet. Okay, I'm buying a Fanta. I don't know what it tastes like, but I know people like it, so it can't be that bad, surely. Not gonna lie, it's kind of getting a bit windy right now. Like, it was hot for some time. I drank that Fanta. It was like so vibe and hot, and now it's kind of getting windy. I think I'm just gonna down a quick protein bar or something. I'm not a fan of protein bars, but I was like in a competition at the gym where basically the gym gave a prize, like you would win a bunch of protein bars if you win, and I won, so I got I got a bunch of protein bars now. It's with chocolate ball flavor. Chocolate balls, man, I need to make them for a video, dude. It's the best. Like, I don't know, is it a pastry, or search up the recipe if you've never heard of chocolate balls. It's probably like, I'm addicted to that type of stuff. I would have a six-pack right now if it wasn't for chocolate balls. Someone didn't invent chocolate balls, I would be so ridiculously jacked. So we'll see. If it tastes like chocolate balls, it's an approve. If it doesn't, then it's a failure. We'll see. Okay, so this is how it looks like. I mean, I guess they have tried to mimic how a chocolate ball looks like on the outside, I suppose. I don't know if you can tell by how I'm biting, like, this is way chewier than I thought it would be. Why is it so hard? Is it just because it's old? Calling this chocolate ball flavor, that's taking a stretch, honestly. Final snack, check this out. Salted caramel and peanut butter dates. I mean, I love the idea that someone seriously looked at something like dates and was like, you know, dates, they're like sugar and sweet and stuff, right? What if we took dates, which is already sugary and tasty as they are, and made them even more? Like, here it is. Salted caramel peanut butter date. It doesn't look that tasty, I'm gonna be honest. We'll see. I did not expect it to taste that way. I really need to stop. Like, why is this channel all of a sudden like a food review? Like, I was not, that was not the idea. This is supposed to be an outdoor channel, not a food review channel. What am I doing even? Salted caramel. Where is the salted caramel? There is no salted caramel in this. But it seriously just tastes like they took a date and dipped it in peanut butter and called it a day. It's not bad, it's all right. I don't mind it, but it's like, it should just say peanut butter, but it says salted caramel and peanut butter afterwards. Like, dude, I feel ripped off, but I mean, it's all right. Well, I'm full of food. Let's head back onto the 7 seas and catch a massive fish. Well, we have been rowing now for quite some time, and man, this boat is so disgusting. It's so dirty. I see like spiders and everything, like, just going on it everywhere, and I'm like sitting here like I probably have one in my pants right now, and I don't like that thought. I have now attached the bait we found up there, and we're gonna see if I can actually catch something with this. I mean, to be fair, it's similar to what I was planning to use anyway, a regular just like spoon bait, but I don't know any of the spots at all, so this could go either way. I have no clue. Let's do the first throw. My back does not like this at all. I wish I could stand up as well. Bait which I got is just like really heavy actually. Oh wait, there's no way. No way, no way, no way, no. I think I got something. That's the second throw. There's no way I got something. No way, I lost it. Oh no, I lost. Oh man, I lost it. That's why it's always good to have the local with you, because then they know the spots. I have to work extra hard now in order to find anything. There's just so many lily pads here. It's crazy. Why is there so many lily pads here? It might just be because it's close to like farmlands and this lake is just like very overgrown, this over fertilized. I was thinking maybe I could go here closer to the edge, and maybe that's gonna be a better place for me to stay. But the problem is there's just so many lily pads here. Like, I'm just gonna get stuck in all the lily pads, and there's no certainty that I'm actually gonna catch anything even. Oh man, these waves make it so much harder to row. It was already hard to row, you know, when there wasn't any waves in the beginning of the video, but now it's just so much harder. Somehow it has gotten worse. I can't believe it was possible for it to get worse, but it got worse. Oh, I need to get out of here. I really need to get out of here. Oh, I need to get to a better spot. You know, another mistake I kind of made, I forgot to bring the anchor. That was a huge mistake. This tiny boat, it is so light. I'm gonna give it one last try. If I don't catch anything on this location, I'm giving up. They say never give up. I mean, that's kind of wrong. I would change that quote to like, it's better to actually know when to give up. Whoa, this bait just doesn't care. I just threw it right at the wind. Whoa, will I even be able to get the bait in before I reach the shore? I'm being pulled in so quickly. Look at this. Dude, I am being pulled in so fast. That's crazy. Do you see all the lily pads flopping around because of the waves? Dude, why is there so many lily pads here? Oh, my right arm especially is dying because it has to fight against the stream, and that is rotating my boat. I'm trying to sail in a straight line, but it's impossible though. Wait, no way. There's no way. Did you hear that on the video? I swear I just heard the ice cream truck. There is no way. I'm sitting here fishing in the middle of this lake and I hear the ice cream truck. Why would the ice cream truck be out now? It's kind of cold outside. Like, you kind of just like rest like this. I'm laying down and fishing simultaneously. It's like the kind of chill, relaxing for my back because my back hurts so much. I'm definitely coming back to this lake later on with a better boat, better oars, better gear just all around, and actually with an anchor. I make videos every single week, so if you don't want to miss that out, make sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.